Hi, this is Maddie Bolin, and I'm here to bring you another episode of PHS Now. This is the April edition, and us students here in the media program have some fun and fresh new content for you. We kick this program off with our take on Women's History Month and what some of us students gained from making videos celebrating a few influential women, which you can enjoy on the Piqua Digital Media YouTube channel.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Murphy.
Hi, my name is Isaac Drzwicki.
My name is Landon Hare.
I'm a senior.
I'm in grade 12.
I'm an 11th grade student.
And I've been a part of the Piqua Digital Media program for 3 years now.
I've been in Skeen's class for about 3 years now.
This is my second year in the media program, and I'm here to discuss women's history and why it is so important. Women's history is important to me because it not only shows the growth of our nation, but it shows the growth of our history overall.
It's important to make these Women's History Month videos because it brings light to our women in our history in our community today.
The Women's History Month videos that we did are extremely important and impactful for someone like me, and I'm hoping other people. As a woman, I would have probably never ever sought out the information that I collected from making those videos. So I feel like this has been a huge learning experience for me, and it's extremely rewarding to see those videos being watched, especially because I know that the women who are in them are getting the recognition that they deserve.
To me, Women's History Month means empowerment and change. While doing these videos, I have learned so much more about the amazing women that I already know. And on top of that, I learned about women that I didn't know anything about. Being able to show our appreciation to these women has made me gain a lot more respect for the struggle and hardships they have faced as they strove for greatness.
Those women obviously have had huge impacts on the lives of thousands, millions of people.
The impact comes from bringing light to these amazing women of our past and present for our community.
It's very inspiring to young girls and young ladies all around the world.
And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched our videos. It means the world to us. We put so much work into them, and we really hope that you enjoyed them and learned something.
Now we have Blaine Uhl talking to our guidance counselors here at the high school and what their jobs entail as they help us students navigate high school.
Welcome back to this portion of PHS Now, where I'm sitting down with our PHS guidance counselors. So go ahead and introduce yourself first, and then we'll get right into it.
I'm Mrs. Foster, and I'm the school counselor for students with the last name A through D.
I'm Mrs. Schultze, and I'm the school counselor for last names E through K.
My name is Mrs. Soldes.
Hi, my name is Beth Rosenkrantz.
Here at PHS, you guys have a lot of duties as a counselor, so go ahead and give me a couple of your main objectives as a counselor here at the high school.
Yeah, so a lot of my main duties consist of the program of studies, scheduling, and then graduation. Those are my main responsibilities. Besides meeting with students for any other kinds of needs that they may have, whether it be academic, emotional, social, anything of that nature.
My main duties, I have AP testing. I also am in charge of mental health. I am in charge of awards, and I am the new advisor for Hope Squad.
The duties that are assigned to me are the ACT. I also am in charge of anything that has to do with the UVCC.
Okay.
I also have stuff to do with job shadowing and apprenticeships, things like that. Anything that has to do with students trying to get employment outside of the high school.
My key responsibility is to work with students S through Z, and then I'm also head of my department, and then I focus on colleges and scholarships.
So when you attended college, what did you major in, and how did you end up down the path to become a guidance counselor?
So when I was in high school, I was really undecided. I went to Ohio State and went in as an undecided major and then ended up getting my teaching degree. Then I finished at Wright State. I taught for a few years and then decided that I wanted to be a school counselor because I had counselors in my life that were really impactful, and so I wanted to do the same and be that person for others.
Okay, I went to St. Bonaventure University and I majored in sociology, and when I graduated from college I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. So I ended up working at a residential treatment center for delinquent girls as a counselor, and I absolutely loved that. But I knew I had to go back and get my master's degree, so I went to Gannon University and got a master's of science in counseling.
So I went to Wright State University for my undergrad, and I got my degree in psychology. I was really unsure what I wanted to do with that. Worked a couple odd-end jobs and ended up up going back to school at Heidelberg University to be a school counselor. I also have my clinical counseling license, so I have done part-time individual counseling on this side.
I did my undergrad at Wilmington College. I majored in elementary education, and then from there I went to UD for grad school to become a school counselor. And to backtrack, I did forget to tell you how I made it to Piqua High School in Piqua in general. When I was at Wilmington, I played soccer, and at the time, the Parents Association of Piqua Soccer were looking for a coach.
Okay.
So they had reached out to my college coach and said, you know, we're looking for someone to coach the varsity team, and also that is in education. So my college coach reached out to me about the opportunity. So I was from Northmont originally, so that was nice to stay in the area close to family. And I came to Piqua and, you know, got a job obviously as the varsity soccer coach, as well as teaching 6th grade at Bennett. So
awesome.
I did that for the first 6 years of my career. So.
Awesome. So if a student here at Piqua High School was looking to reach out, how would they be able to contact you, and what would you be willing to, you know, talk to them about, work with them? Go ahead and explain that process to us.
There's lots of different ways you can see us. We typically prefer you sign up on Google Classroom, but if it's an emergency, you can always come down to the guidance office. You can reach us by email.
Google Classroom, email is great because we can look at that, you know, quite frequently throughout the day. And if we're in with somebody, they can talk to the secretary, and she can get their name, and we'll call them back down.
So they can reach out to me on Google Classroom. They can also email me, and they can always also step down at my office, and if I'm free, I can meet with them if it's an emergency as well.
Normally, not in COVID times, we tell students, you know, just stop down in the office. Due to the changes this year, we've implemented a way for students to sign up online, or we just tell them to shoot us an email, and then we call them down accordingly.
Again, Google Classroom, pretty much any way you can think of to contact us, a friend, and we can help students with anything they may be struggling with, or even good news. I know last year it was really exciting for some of the seniors to come down and tell us where they got accepted to college. But again, we can help students with anything from academics to socio-emotional things going on, family life, friends. So pretty much anything that a student would need help with, they can come and see one of us.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
For our next segment, we have Landon Hare talking to Ms. Watson about the blood drive that we hosted on March 19th here at the high school.
Hello, Piqua High School. I'm here with Mrs. Watson, and Mrs. Watson's here to help us understand a little bit more about the blood drive this year. And Mrs. Watson, why was the blood drive so important this year?
Well, it's very important this year because with everything going on with COVID, a lot of the blood drives in the area were canceled with not being able to have people come in and sign up for appointments. So it was really important that we still continue ours when we got back to school. We did have to cut down on the numbers and how many people we could register. We had to spread them out a little bit, but it's really important this year to try to help the blood drive get back up to the level that they needed to have in supply, especially with hospitalizations being up so high.
What is some progression you've seen from the last donation? Like how many more students we've had donate, or more numbers, things like that?
It usually stays pretty constant. This year I would say they went down a little bit just because we weren't allowed to have as many appointments as we normally have, but there's still, every year, there's still a lot of people that come out and they register and sign up. I have kids come to me all the time that aren't quite 16 and they're anxious to get started and want to donate, so that's really good. It's good to have that participation in the younger ages so that they continue that throughout.
Are you able to see things from a different perspective while you're helping with the blood drive, or kind of explain that to me?
Yes, a lot of students really enjoy working and helping with the blood drive, even if they're not old enough to donate yet. It's their way of being able to contribute and help. We provide snacks and stuff like that for the donors after they're finished to get their blood sugar level back up before returning to class. But having that view of what goes on at the blood drive, and sometimes it helps to have the younger kids go in there to see that ahead of time, because it's not so scary and they kind of see and they know what to expect if they want to become a donor in the future.
Right.
So.
Okay. Now, do you know if we reached any sort of goal as a school?
Yes, they always set a goal for the schools. I think this year it was 50 people, actual 50 donations collected. They give us, I think there was 80 some appointment slots to fill. We didn't get them all full this year, but we did reach the 50 collections that they wanted. I think we had like 65 or so that we actually collected. So we were over the goal, so they were happy with that. Not as much as we usually do in the past years, but they were still very happy to get the donation. We hit our goal. So.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Mrs. Watson, and
you're welcome.
Back to you in the studio.
Next, we have Xander Mason and Alyssa Murphy talking to some of our student athletes at the high school about their upcoming season in spring sports.
Hi, I'm Xander, and I'm here with freshman Mickey Anderson. And what spring sport do you play?
Baseball.
What are you most excited for? I'm excited for the tournament at the end of the season.
What are some precautions that your team is taking because of COVID-19?
We're staying 6 feet apart and wearing masks in the dugout and on the bus.
What are some goals that you and your team have for this season?
One of our goals is to minimize our errors and have a winning record this season.
All right, thank you for talking with us and have a good season.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Murphy, and I'm here with Junior.
Cassie Shrub.
And Cassie, what spring sport do you play?
I run track.
Cassie, what are you most excited for in the upcoming season?
I'm excited to actually start running again this season because last year we didn't, and just some big PRs.
What are some precautions that your team is taking because of COVID-19?
Because of COVID, we have to wear masks like in between, but once we warm up, we can like take them off or whatever, but 6 feet distance.
And what are some of your personal goals for the season?
So freshman year I made it to regionals and I want to do that again and hopefully have a 4x8 that goes too.
Thank you, Cassie, and I wish you luck this season.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Xander Mason, and I'm here with Junior.
Mason Osborne.
And what spring sport do you play?
I throw track.
Mason, what are you most excited for this season?
I'm most excited to get back into some of the big meets that we got to miss on last year because COVID took them out.
What are some precautions that your team is taking because of COVID-19?
We are wearing masks and we all have to stay 6 feet apart and we make sure we're in small groups.
And what are some goals that you and your team might have for this season?
Well, I'm hoping for me to get to the NBL championship throwing off. I'm hoping to make it to that, and I'm hoping my team can place so we can get at least top 2, top 3 in NBL.
All right, thank you, and I wish you guys luck for this season.
Yep, thank you.
Hi, I'm Xander, and I'm here with Senior
Steven Dolder.
And what spring sport do you play?
I play boys tennis.
What are you most excited for this upcoming season?
I'm excited for the tournament that's coming up on the 17th.
What are some precautions that you and your team have taken because of COVID-19?
We have masks on whenever we're within 6 feet, but with tennis, I mean, you're really not near anybody for that long of a time, so there's not much that we really have to do with that.
What are some goals that you and your team have for this season?
Honestly, just getting better as a team. A lot of new people, so understanding the sport, getting down how it works and all that stuff, and hopefully getting a few wins along the way.
All right, thank you, and good luck on your season.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Alyssa. I'm here with Junior.
Kenzie Anderson.
Kenzie, what spring sport do you play?
Softball.
What are you most looking forward to in the upcoming season?
I'm looking forward to playing Troy because I'm really hoping we can beat them this year.
What are some precautions that you guys are taking due to COVID-19?
On the bus, we always wear a mask and we try and spread out as far as possible.
And what are some goals that you guys have set this season?
As a team, we would like to win at least like 15, 16 games this year and try to limit our errors.
Thank you, Kenzie, and I hope you guys have a good season.
At this time, we have Tommy Grice recognizing 2 of our winner athletes who were selected as the PolySource Students of the Month and what their future holds for them.
Hey, what's up, Piqua? I'm here with a Piqua High School student, senior Isaac Bushnell. And Isaac, are you planning on going to college?
Yes.
And are you planning on playing sports in college?
No, I won't be playing any sports in college.
And what sports did you play this year?
I wrestled.
Nice. And what was the difference between this year's season compared to a normal season?
Well, mainly just the COVID things and with keeping the masks on, off the mat and everything. That was the only difference usually. And the lack of different tournaments and everything. We only had like one in-season tournament. But those are the only differences I've noticed.
Okay, and last question. What are you going to miss about Piqua High School sports?
Definitely the coaching staff, them showing up every day and us getting hard practices, and those are favorite things about the season at Piqua High School.
Hey, thank you, Isaac.
Hey Piqua, what's up? My name's Tommy Grice. I'm here with senior
Aubrey Cathcart.
And Aubrey, are you planning on going to college?
Yes.
Nice, where to?
The University of Cincinnati.
And are you planning on playing any sports in college?
As of right now, no, but that could change.
So what has been your favorite part about this season?
My favorite part was actually being able to compete and to see other teams and to support all of our players and our other athletes.
What has been the difference this year compared to a normal year in sports?
There were more restrictions with everything, and I felt like although there was a lot going on, I was able to connect with my teammates more, which made it more enjoyable. It was really good for what we could do and what we could have, and I appreciate everyone involved in getting the process done and allowing us to do as many things as we could, because with COVID, I really didn't think we were going to have much of a season.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
So how was it? How was this year's season different from a normal season?
There were a lot of restrictions that we had in place and we couldn't do as much. Something that I really enjoyed for cheer was being able to get our choreography done by who we've always had it done by. That was very fun.
So last question here. Since you are a senior, what will you miss most about being active and playing sports at Piqua High School?
I will miss my teammates. They definitely pushed me to become a better person and to always give forth all my effort into everything. And they made the season very fun.
Nice. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Now we have Joe Stravell talking to Mr. Westfall and 2 members of the show choir about their season and what they hope for their future.
Hi, I'm Joe Stravell, and I'm here with Mr. Westfall. Mr. Westfall, tell them a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mr. Westfall. I'm the choir director here at Piqua High School. I'm in charge of the choirs and the show choir and direct the musical.
All right, Mr. Westfall, we have some questions for you. What are some differences you see in show choir with the COVID, and what are some things you hope to see in the future of show choir?
This year with show choir, we haven't gone to one contest because most of the contests have been canceled due to COVID guidelines. The biggest thing that we have struggled with here is the masks. Obviously, singing behind a mask is very difficult, and since singing is one of the things that the CDC has said is the highest, most risk activity, we wear our masks all the time. So unlike sports, when they get to the games and they can take off their mask to play, when we get to a show, we do the whole show in the mask, behind the mask. So it's been tough. And again, you have, the text, getting the words out, singing through the mask is a challenge too. So the mask has been the biggest thing. And what am I looking forward to? Getting back to normal. So do what you can to be a part of getting all of us back to what we can do.
All right, thank you, Mr. Westfall.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Senior Decker Jackson. And Decker, what are some differences you noticed in the program from your previous years in the program?
Well, obviously with masks and all, we weren't able to compete this year, which was really sad. So I think we definitely had to rely on this sense of camaraderie this year that we haven't in the past. We had to band together as a group a lot and get through the adversity together. So, without competitions, that was a lot what show choir was this year. We learned songs and we didn't get to perform them for anybody, so we had to do it for ourselves.
And what are some things you're hoping to see in the future of the show choir program?
I think this group could have been really, really successful this year. So it's really a bummer that, timing worked out with COVID like this. But I hope that I can come back and see some shows next year, and I hope that we can be just as successful and just as powerful.
All right, thank you, Decker.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Yep. I'm here with Kamora Tipton. And Kamora, what are some differences you noticed in the program from your previous years?
I noticed this year that we enjoy it more because we became more of a family because we haven't been able to really go to competition. So every time we get to have practice, it's a blessing. And just being able to perform for our parents is even better because we didn't think we'd even be able to do that this year. So just having people be able to see our show, even if it's one time or twice, it feels good for us and for our parents to actually see that.
And what are some things you're hoping to see in the future of the show choir program?
I guess a show maybe. I know we have one coming up, but anything can happen because one time, we all got quarantined and we had a show. We couldn't go. So I'm just hoping we at least get another show for our parents to see and we get to actually do our last actual show for the seniors called Just Us. So I hope to see that happen for me and for all my other seniors and for just everyone else because that's all we want.
All right, thank you, Kamora.
Thanks.
To finish off this episode, we have a tribute to military children made by Alyssa Murphy with the help of some of the Piqua Digital Media crew.
April is designated as the month of the military child, underscoring the important role military children play in the armed forces community. Sponsored by the Department of Defense Military Community and Family Policy, the month of the military child is a time to applaud military families and their children for the daily sacrifices they make and the challenges they overcome. The month of the military child is part of the legacy left by former Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberg. He established the Defense Department commemoration in 1986. We are joining the Department of Defense and the military community in celebrating April as the month of the military child. We aim to challenge each student to maximize his or her potential and to excel academically, socially, emotionally, and physically for life, college, and career readiness. Throughout the month, there are different things you can do to celebrate military children and their families. These efforts and special events will stress the importance of providing children with quality services and support to help them succeed in a mobile military lifestyle. Some examples of things you can do are as follows. You can wear purple on Purple Day, which is a visible way for everyone to show support and thank military youth for their strengths and sacrifices. You can also salute military children at sporting events by having the announcer make a special announcement before, during, or after sporting events, recognizing all military children. Have them raise the flag, sing the national anthem, or recite the Pledge of Allegiance. One more thing you can do is write letters or draw pictures and send them to deployed family members. They serve too and would benefit from a pick-me-up.
When we stand for the flag,
We are not only supporting the men
and the women who have served in our country,
but also their families who sacrificed more than we can know. Thank you for joining me for another thrilling episode of PHS Now. Everyone here on the Piqua Digital Media crew, thank you for watching, and we will see you next month for our final episode of the 2020 to 2021 season. And remember, I'm Maddie.